It is now my great honor and privilege to invite our chief guest, who is Minister of State for Agriculture from Uganda, to officially open this conference, grace the dialogues we are going to have, and bless what we come up with out of this conference. Let us all stand up to give him a round of applause to welcome our chief guest to come and talk to us.
Representatives of honorable ministers from the East African region, representatives of the African Union and the East African Community Secretariat, members of the diplomatic corps, representatives of the United Nations agencies, the World Food Programme and the Food and Agriculture Organization, other development partners present here, Dr. Hans, the co-founder, BioVision Foundation and president of the Millennium Institute in Washington, D.C., the executive director of the BioVision Africa Trust, participants from the academia and distinguished scientists, participants from the civil society organizations, the media fraternity, dear farmers present here, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you warm greetings from the government and the people of the Republic of Uganda. I also convey my sincere gratitude to the organizers of this conference for extending invitation to my country, and also considering that I could be the main speaker at this particular session, the opening session, as we wait for our chief guest. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the government of the Republic of Kenya for hosting us, but also for their hospitality and warm reception. Ladies and gentlemen, as you may be aware, the greatest challenges we face today are associated with feeding a fast-growing global population. And this is exacerbated by climate change and its associated consequences, which cover environment, natural resources degradation, and ultimately biodiversity loss, thus affecting food and nutrition security. Sector-wide approaches to a sustainable food systems transformation are therefore unavoidable. And I'm here to say that the time is now for us to rise and employ pragmatic approaches, strategies, as well as practices that can increase and sustain the supply of food, feed, and fiber for our people. This first Eastern Africa Agroecology Conference, organized under the theme Transforming Food Systems for Responsible Production, Consumption, and Social Well-being, avails us a great opportunity to share best practices, researched and proven knowledge that can help us to elaborate evidence-based policy, actions, and implementable plans at global, regional, and national levels. I therefore commend the organizers of this conference for inviting a cross-section of actors with multidisciplinary skills. The production constraints we experience, namely prolonged droughts, erratic rainfall, floods, crop failure, pests and diseases, food loss, hunger and malnutrition, respect no race, respect no boundary or technical jurisdiction. Agroecology, therefore, offers an integrated and holistic approach to achieving sustainable food systems that address issues related to food production. Collective action, networking, and partnership strengthening, coupled with an enabling policy environment, are absolutely necessary. In Uganda, like in most of the African and East African community partner states, agriculture and agro-industrialization are still pivotal in spurring socio-economic transformation. I'll give you some examples here. In Uganda, agriculture contributes 24% of the country's GDP. It employs 68% of the population, largely smallholders, 73% of whom are women. Coincidentally, these constitute the agricultural production communities that are outside the money economy. In Uganda, we say that they work for the stomach alone and who are vulnerable to consequences of climate change, environmental degradation, as well as food insecurity. The government of Uganda is committed to uplifting the quality of life of all its citizens through commercializing subsistence agriculture, transforming the lives of those that work for only their stomachs, while ensuring food and nutrition security and increasing household incomes. Fortunately, Uganda has a comparative advantage to promote agroecology because its agricultural production is by default organic. Yes, you heard me. The agricultural production in Uganda is by default organic because of the minimal use of external inputs like inorganic fertilizers and pesticides since time immemorial. Since time immemorial. My great-grandparents produced that way, and I produce that way. Actually, I wouldn't be wrong to say that our culture is organic agriculture. And by extension, we tend towards agroecology. And that explains why we are leading in this conversation. Uganda recognizes the potential of agroecology in achieving the country's Vision 2040, as well as the Sustainable Development Goals. One, the one on ending poverty, SDG 1. Two, the one on ending hunger, SDG 2. Three, the one on promoting good health, SDG 3. 4, the one on decent economic growth, SDG 8. 5, the one on sustainable communities, SDG 11. 6, the one on responsible consumption and production, SDG 12. 7, the one on climate action, SDG 13. And finally, the one on biodiversity, SDG 15. I'll share our experience. To support agroecology farming system, in the year 2019, the Uganda government approved the National Agriculture Policy, the National Organic Agriculture Policy, NOAP, that is aimed at harnessing the country's organic agriculture potential by ensuring a regulated subsector that contributes to national development. The mission of the National Organic Agriculture Policy is to support investments in the entire organic agriculture value chain for inclusiveness, enhanced livelihoods, production, and environmental sustainability. The National Organic Agriculture Policy has, this far, provided an enabling environment for investment in organic production. And we are here to give testimony that this is paying off. For instance, the number of certified organic farmers in Uganda has increased from 211,584, as was the case in 2018, to 400,004, 246 in 2021. Similarly, certified area and organic agriculture has increased from 264,408 hectares in 2018 to 505,308 hectares in 2021. In the same vein, the value of organic agricultural exports has increased from US$ 50 million, the case in 2015-2016 financial year, to US$ 159.8 million in 2021. The organic agriculture share in the agricultural export was 8% as of 2018, but is projected to be 12% by the end of this year. Overall, the National Organic Agriculture Policy has contributed to the growth of the organic subsector and agroecology in Uganda. Since 2019, my ministry, the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, in collaboration with the multi-sector, collaboration with the multi-stakeholder agroecology actors platform, hosted by the Participatory Ecological Land Use Management, PELAM, Uganda, are implementing the organic agriculture policy. And in implementing the policy, we have carried out a number of activities. I'll give a few examples of these. Together, 3 national agroecology actors symposia have been convened in Uganda. And this has contributed to awareness and adoption. These have enabled the agroecology actors to share experiences, formulate new strategies and projects to further scale up agroecology in Uganda through the formulation of a national agroecology strategy. A draft of this strategy is available for your scrutiny. In a related development, preliminary activities to enact the organic agriculture law to operationalize the national organic agriculture policy were also commenced. And we are progressing well on that front as well. Further to this, Uganda is committed to promoting agroecology in the country and achieving sustainable food systems. To this end, government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, joined the Agroecology Coalition that was birthed from the United Nations Food Systems Summit held in New York in September 2021. Besides, Uganda hosts the African Center of Excellence in Agroecology and Livelihood Systems at the Uganda Matters University, Nkozi. This Center of Excellence is funded by the World Bank through the government of Uganda, and it aims at streamlining the production of high-level, well-motivated and ethically conscious critical mass of agroecology and livelihood systems experts through collaborative, high-quality postgraduate education, as well as applied research that will contribute to sustainable livelihood and food systems transformation. Several scholars within the African continent have benefited from this postgraduate program. And some of them are from my ministry. Besides all that, Uganda is also one of the countries in Africa that integrated agroecology in the updated nationally determined contributions, abbreviated as NDCs, that were submitted to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, ahead of the previous Conference of Parties, COP27, held in Egypt, as part of our commitments to enhance our efforts towards building climate resilience and mitigation within the agriculture, forestry, and land use sectors. Also, KEYNOTE is that Uganda is among the 9 countries in Africa that are implementing the African Union-led Ecological Organic Agriculture Initiative, which aims at mainstreaming ecological organic agriculture in national policies, plans, and strategies. Uganda is also the co-host of the Knowledge Hub for Eastern Africa under the auspices of the Knowledge Center for Organic Agriculture Program. Distinguished guests and participants, successful promotion of agroecology calls for resolute, supportive government policy and regulatory action developed in close collaboration with all the key stakeholders. Formidable public-private partnerships, effective sharing and networking are vital in implementing the identified strategies geared towards entrenching and scaling up agroecology among our farming communities. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our experience as Uganda. And it suffices to say that to strengthen agroecology, focus should be put on supporting research, science, technology, innovation, infrastructure for production, harvesting and post-harvest handling, value addition, marketing, trade, as well as affordable agricultural financing. It is my hope that as we leave this conference, we should leave with a spirit of togetherness so that we can work together to address these key areas of intervention that we think can strengthen agroecology. Finally, allow me to thank all of you for turning up in such big numbers for this conference. I also thank the organizers of this important event, the BioVision Africa Trust, the funders, well-wishers, the Kenyan government for hosting us and for the hospitality, and everybody. I thank you, and with these few remarks, I declare this first Eastern Africa Agroecology Conference officially opened and wish us all a resounding success for God.